So recently, I had the displeasure of watching Marvel's Black Widow movie, and to keep things very, very short, the movie sucks. All right, the movie's just not good. It's not good. It has really dumb plot points at times. The action is pretty okay, but overall, the movie just falls flat, especially into like the second and third act. My goodness, bro, they completely butchered Taskmaster as a character, and the whole movie is no more than a 5, 6 on a good day. There you go, that's your review. But for the extended version, I'm going to break this movie piece by piece as to exactly what the hell happens in this film and why it's bad. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, share the video around, like the video, grab a snack, a drink if you're of age, because we're going to be here for a while. Alright, so the movie starts off as a young Natasha, basically in her childhood, living the American dream, so to speak, house in a remote location with her family members, just chilling, doing family stuff. And then out of nowhere, her dad comes back from work and pulls the mother aside and says, hey, look, we gotta go because their handlers were pretty much calling for them to go back into the whole widow program. And let's just say one thing led to another. There was an epic chase scene and they finally escaped the facility, and that's pretty much how the movie starts. Pretty strong opening, but the problem is it kind of stops there. The next scene opens up 21 years into the future, making it present day, and you see Tasha's sister on a special mission with other widows, and they're supposed to take out this supposed target. The target winds up being one of her friends, but she's under a mind control spell that the other Black Widows are under, which is kind of like a performance enhancement drug or whatever that makes them obey, like good little soldiers. So the friend basically sprays this crimson red gas that snaps her out of it, but it's too late because she already stabbed her and her wounds are pretty much fatal. So in her last moments of life, she basically says that, hey, get this this special formula to the Black Widows or whatever, or try, basically save them. And that's pretty much what she did. She went AWOL, and that's basically where she met up with Natasha, because she was also on the run because of the whole Avengers bad thing, and the whole Civil War situation. So basically, she's on the run, her sister's on the run. They meet up in the same exact place. They fight for a little bit. Then they realize that, there's people coming for both of them. So they had to pretty much work together to survive, to get out of that. And I forgot to mention that before Natasha met up with her sister, she had a brief encounter with Taskmaster, which you get to finally see him for the first time in the film. And they pretty much have this fight, this whole thing. But she finally realizes that Taskmaster isn't after her. She's after the formula that pretty much wakes up the Black Widows and snaps them out of the brainwashing. So long story short, she figures that out. She gets the vials filled with the special formula and she escapes with it, and then that's when she meets up with her sister. After they escape the ambush from the other widows, they decide that they need to figure out where the Red Room is so they can use the formula on all the other widows to break them out of their mind control spell. So they go over to prison to break free the Red Guardian in an effort to figure out where the Red Room is. They break him out of prison. They ask him where the Red Room is. He has no idea, but he says that their mother probably would know where the Red Room is because she still works with the guy who basically works there. So they go over to her farmland for this very awkward and cringe-worthy family reunion. So cringe it would make even Dom from the Fast franchise uncomfortable. That's how bad the scene was. But yeah, they basically, get over their family griefs or whatever. They figure out a plan how to sneak into the Red Room and how to stop the evil plan, blah, blah, blah. Standard superhero stuff. Mind you, this movie is 2 hours long, and I just explained basically the whole plot to you in less than 5 minutes. Okay, now that we're finally done setting up this piece of trash movie, I can finally sink my teeth into what the hell is wrong with this film. Well, for starters, Taskmaster. Now, Taskmaster in this movie is some sort of cybernetic robot mute that studies his opponent's moves via a USB device linked in the back of his helmet. and he pretty much just studies the videos and stuff. And I mean, that's basically what it is. Now, it's not a terrible idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's bad, but it's not as bad as to what they have in store. So, okay, basically, this version of Taskwoman, Taskwoman, there you go, because surprise, surprise, it's a chick. They made Taskmaster into a female. Now, a short summary of what happened with why she's a female in this film is basically Natasha was on a mission. She had to kill a target or whatever, and the daughter was there. So the daughter was collateral damage, but she still somehow survived it, and that's why she's missing half her face and she's mute or whatever. And yeah, it's really dumb. Okay, like the way they set it up, they basically said that yeah, she's one of the widows. She's pretty much brainwashed by her own father. And basically, Taskmaster is not even a villain. She's a victim. She's a victim, and towards the end of the movie, they basically set her free from the whole like brainwashing thing, as well as the other widows as well. Pretty much like your standard happy ending. The villain, loses in the end. Blah blah. Like we've seen this all over. You know what I'm saying? Basically, this movie was 2 hours for nothing, okay? Taskmaster is... Yeah, okay. Listen, if you were looking for a true origin story to Black Widow, this is not it. It's not it, fam. It's not it, okay? And the way they portray the Red Guardian in this film is basically a washed-up has-been that fought Captain America once, and he's just parading around. He's like, hey, I was his adversary, this and that, and nobody really cares, honestly. I don't think Natasha or Helena even cares. So yeah, they don't really do him any justice. So if you were thinking, hey, they're gonna do Red Guardian right by this film, yeah, no, absolutely not. Okay, like I said, they have this one mention where he fought Captain America and nobody wants to talk about it. They choose to ignore that. Okay, he's pretty much like the washed up grandpa that nobody cares about. That's his character arc. Now, as far as Natasha's sister, she's okay, I guess. I mean, she's not as bad as, Taskmaster and Red Guardian, but the overall writing of the film clearly was designed for a younger audience, because this really isn't a grown-up film in my opinion. It's very Disney. Like, you could just smell the Disney on it, And the funny part about the whole Disney thing is that this movie has a lot of curses that shouldn't even be there, because it adds nothing to the film. Like, how in certain movies where they have like a very powerful scene and they're like, oh damn, or something like that, or have like a some type of curse word to emphasize what's going on. Yeah, in this movie they just toss around the S word a lot. And not to mention that the overall movie is basically pointless, because we all know what happens to Black Widow at the end of Endgame. Like, I shouldn't even have to say it, we all know what happened. So basically, they have officially wasted 2 hours of our lives for literally nothing. We don't even get a decent cohesive story that makes sense, that isn't completely butchered by terrible writing, terrible character development for certain characters. And like, the film just felt like a giant cluster of nothing. It just is the icing on the garbage cake that we already know that Black Widow dies in the end, which is exactly what happens in the end credit scene. We see her sister visiting her grave. So yeah, she's dead. This movie adds nothing to the character. It tries so hard to make you care, but at the same time, it doesn't try enough to actually properly explain itself. Like, yeah, sure, I may have did a terrible job explaining the plot, but to be honest with you, watching this 2-hour movie, I guarantee you it will not get any clearer at all. In fact, it will raise more questions than answers, like the fact that Taskmaster is a woman and they didn't use the actual origin of Taskmaster. Just stuff like that. Like, imagine the main villain of a film who already has a huge backlog of source material that you can easily pick from, and trust me, there's a lot of source material behind this character, and they chose to just pull something out of their anal cavity and be like, hey, there you go, here's Taskmaster, boom. Oh, surprise, surprise, guys, plot twist, it's a girl, and another plot twist, she's not a villain, she's a victim. It's just terrible writing. In short, a lot of the characters are not even close to their source material counterparts. The story is all over the place. It's kind of stupid at points where you're just like, what the hell is going on? The movie length is 2 hours long, which does nothing for the film except create more plot holes for people to dive into. And the movie overall was pointless because we all know that Black Widow dies. So all this is for naught, basically. In the end, this movie is no more than a solid 5, okay? 6 on a good day, and I'm being generous. Really, it's a 4, but I'm willing to compromise it being a 5 out of 10. But let me know in the comments what you think about this. Have you seen the movie? Do you like it? Do you think it's the greatest movie of all time? Do you think, Marvel set the bar high for their first movie coming back out in the MC universe? Or do you think the movie is just complete garbage? They completely butchered characters, especially Taskmaster. Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Share the video around. Share it to a buddy. If he likes it or he hates it. Either way, send him this review. Subscribe to the channel for more off-topic videos that I do here and there. But yeah, stay tuned when I'm out. Peace.